What's going on,
What's
Ebony?
going on? Slanted Sports. This your girl Eb. This your boy Shannon. Not that much be going on in sports this week besides the draft, man. Like, for real, I'm gonna just be real with you. I
Uh-huh.
haven't even prepared for the show this week. Like, I didn't even watch the draft. I have been so immersed in everything Michael Jackson. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I really have not watched the draft at all. I could not turn from CNN that night that it happened. That was the same night as the draft. I'm sorry, little draftees, but Michael Jackson is more important than what you about to do in the league. And I did not watch not one. I don't even know who got picked first. So Shannon, you gotta be my boy. You gotta fill me
Yes.
in on what happened in the NBA draft because I'm still in Michael Jackson mode right now. When we play this, well, actually, you know what? Before we start, we gotta do a moment of silence, or we gotta do a hee hee or something like that, like real quick, just in honor of MJ. So we're gonna do a hee hee real quick.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hee hee. All right, now we can start.
All
We're
right.
talking about. So what happened in the draft? Because I have no idea what's going on in the sports world right now.
Well, it was a weird draft. Not the greatest draft as far as names. Of course, Blake Griffin went first to the Clippers, and Hasheem Thabeet. And I don't know. You said you didn't see the draft, but Hasheem Thabeet went second to Memphis. He had a shiny suit on. He looked like he was wrapped in Reynolds wrap, but
Wait,
I mean,
what
that's how
happened
he gets
with
down.
what happened with players not being there? Like I saw something on Sports Center yesterday where like they were announcing people and the players weren't there yet. Like they hadn't made it to the arena yet. What was that
Well,
all
that was
about?
the most famous example of that was Brandon Jennings, who got selected 10th by Milwaukee, but he didn't come out on stage until after the 14th pick. He just walked out there. It wasn't like he was announced, like, okay, Brandon Jennings is in the building now. Nah, he just walked out there like, yo, I'm shaking the commissioner's hand. We about to do this.
So who do you think made the best pick for their team in this year's draft?
Well, I don't know who made the best pick. I know who made the worst damn pick,
Oh,
though.
okay, who made the worst pick?
The Minnesota Timberwolves, by far. The Minnesota Timberwolves had a record 4 first-round picks, and the Timberwolves, with their 4 first-round picks, took 3 point guards. It makes absolutely no sense. They took Ricky Rubio with the 5th pick,
Yeah,
and they turn
yeah.
around and take Johnny Flynn out of Syracuse with the 6th pick. And some are calling the Johnny Flynn selection an insurance pick in essence if they can't select Rubio. So if you don't think you can sign Rubio, why the hell did you take him? It
What?
makes absolutely no sense.
I see. I don't really know how it works because, like, I would think like in the NFL draft, like you know,
Yeah.
I'm a bigger NFL fan than NBA fan. In the NFL draft, people will pick someone that they know somebody else wants just for trading power, just because they have somebody maybe already on their team. Is that how it works in the NBA? Because I heard Rubio might be coming to the Knicks or some crap like that.
Oh yeah, that's after the trade, and that does
Yeah.
go on in the NBA. And initially, when they took Flynn, I assumed that Minnesota was going to package either Flynn or Rubio to somebody else who really
Okay.
wanted one of those 2 players.
Okay.
But here we are, several days removed from the draft, and
And
neither
they're
of those
still
guys
there.
have been moved yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Donnie Walsh has come out and said that the Knicks are interested in Rubio, but that wasn't the plan going into it for Minnesota. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
All right.
And apparently, neither did they.
Obviously not. All right. So, well, we're talking about trading.
Okay.
Some big trades. Like, that's one thing. I haven't been in touch with the draft, but I have been in touch with the trades because I get ESPN alerts to my phone. I just didn't get draft alerts, but I have ESPN alerts to my phone. So we got 4 major trades. Vince Carter's going to Orlando. Like, for me, I'm going to miss Vince, but this is a dope move, I think, on Orlando. They got a chance to get back there this time.
Well, ultimately, they know that they're probably not going to be able to re-sign Hedo Turkoglu.
Yeah.
So you got a guy in Vince Carter who can play at the natural 2 and/or 3, and allow and allow Rashard Lewis to play the 3 or the 4. So it works out as far as the team. But more importantly for Vince, he gets to go home. He's
Yeah.
from right there, Daytona
Yeah.
Beach. So now he get to go home and eat Sunday meals at his mama's house.
Yeah.
And ultimately, isn't that what everybody wants?
Yeah.
Really?
Another person that gets to go home because of the trade, Rayford, is coming back to New York.
Yes.
Now, me personally, I don't understand why the Nets would want Rayford. They have a good young point guard. Who else did they get? Did Orlando give up with Rayford?
They got Courtney Lee, who played very well for a rookie this year.
Yeah, he
and they got
did.
Tony Battie, who's going to be a backup.
Yeah, but they already have a good. What's the little kid's name? The little that made the All-Star.
Devin Harris?
Yes, I like
Yes.
him. I like him a lot. I'm like, why are you bringing in all these little dudes? Where's the big guy at? Now the Nets? Where's the big guy on the Nets now?
Well, I mean, they
Or
did draft
semi-big
Brook
guy.
Lopez. they drafted Brook Lopez last year, and I would imagine that you're gonna have Rafer Alston be the general, so to speak, of your second unit, whoever that might comprise of. I guess Tony Badi.
I don't even understand why that was smart at all on any level for the Nets. I did not get that trade at all. All right, next trade. Shaq is going to Cleveland now.
Yeah.
My biggest question with it, like, no, I don't think, as far as I know, like Shaq made statements. As far as I know, LeBron has not made any statements yet. As far as I know, have you heard him say anything?
No, he hasn't said anything yet.
Okay, so my problem with this is I cannot see LeBron and Shaq's personalities working well together. I don't see it. I don't see chemistry when I see LeBron and Shaq. I don't see it. Now you tell me what you see. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I mean, they're both lighthearted guys. They like to clown around. And ultimately, Shaq's going to this team knowing it's LeBron James' team. I'm an old man. I'm going to go and contribute. Yes, Shaq still has the Shaq-sized ego, but Shaq knows ultimately it's LeBron's team, and whatever LeBron says goes. And he knows that they already have a guy in Jonas Ogaskis who's going to get his minutes as well. So Shaq, coming into the situation, has to know that he's going to play limited minutes. He's probably not going to play all 82 regular season games. So it's kind of a good fit in that sense. I just don't understand. When you're on the court, Shaq's going to clog up the lane. And that's going to minimize LeBron James' penetration because Shaq's going to be down there.
For me, like, so many people are hype about it, but for me, I just don't see it. Like, I don't see that being the factor that gets them back there.
Oh, it's not. It's not. Like, if you're LeBron James, of course, you're not going to say this, but if you're LeBron James, you got to be thinking, is that it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going in a year, and all y'all can do is get me Shaq?
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Yeah. And not the young, dominant, fast, all over the place in your mouth Shaq. Like, it's the one that's on his way out Shaq.
In your mouth Shaq?
The pre-arthritis Shaq is what we got. So yeah. So I'm not feeling that trade. All right, the next one. Another New York person, man, is leaving. Quentin Richardson is going to Memphis. Does this make sense at all? I stopped trying to question what the Knicks do anyway, because they haven't made.
Nothing the Knicks do makes sense. Ultimately, it doesn't at all. Just they drafted a guy named Jordan Hill, and if you have to say who, that's my point exactly. The Knicks had the 8th pick. They drafted a guy that no one knows. I've watched too much basketball and too much college basketball not to know who Jordan Hill is, and I have the slightest clue of who Jordan Hill is, and that's a problem. But moving on to the Quentin Richardson trade. It makes sense. Quentin Richardson had a couple more years left on his contract, and the Knicks are trying to clear space. And Darko Milicic comes off the books in 2010. And ultimately, anything that the Knicks are going to do is it's with the summer of 2010 in mind. So from a financial standpoint, that makes sense because they got to clear all the space so they can try to get LeBron.
All right.
Anything the Knicks do at this point is for LeBron. Everything I do is do it for you and LeBron. That's what they do it for.
They do it for LeBron. All right. So last trade, Richard Jefferson. I never really liked him. I was glad when the Nets got rid of him. But he is.
You just didn't like his ears. Be honest. You didn't like his ears. They scared you, didn't they?
No, I just feel like he plays soft. Like, you too damn big to be playing that soft. So when he left the Nets, I was like, good, go on, bye. You weren't doing nothing when you was here anyway. But so he's going to San Antonio to do nothing for them. So what do you feel about the San Antonio trade?
Well, going into it, you have to think that he can at least give them scoring. And I believe that Richard Jefferson is there as an insurance policy. San Antonio still doesn't know the extent of Manu Ginobili's injury. So he's kind of an insurance plan in that regard. But ultimately, San Antonio needs scoring. They averaged only 97 points a game last year, which was like 6th worst in the league. So they have to put up points, and they got to be able to match it with the Lakers because if the Lakers can re-sign Lamar Odom and/or Trevor Ariza, they have to be considered the favorite in the West. So it's all about making moves. You have to understand with any of these trades, it's all about 2010. And you have to consider yourself. You're either playing for 2010 or you're going to be playing for the free agency of 2010. San Antonio's like, well, we got to try to ride this thing out while we still have Tim Duncan, so we're going to play for 2010. But if you have a team like, say, the Knicks or Milwaukee, they're trying to play for the summer of 2010 where they can try to clear up some space so they can maybe sign a free agent or two.
All right. And that's it, man. That's all that happened this week is draft and trade.